What if the reason so many people feel exhausted, depleted, and disconnected is because society up until now has been training us to lean heavily into the masculine energy? So I want to talk to you today about creating balance with the energy that we use to bring in the life that we would love. And there's many people who have been feeling a lack of balance. Many of the times we call it work-life balance, but then we realize that sometimes we have to work more and sometimes we can spend more of our waking hours in leisurely activities. So what it's really about is tapping into that desire and honoring that desire for balance. So I had an interesting experience late last year, and it was following an event that I went to. And for the past 3 years or so, every few months, I've been traveling. I've been traveling to different parts of the United States for various events, to spend time with mentors, to spend time with leadership groups, to grow within my mindset as well as my business acumen. And following this event, I noticed that I was feeling a sense of less than. And I got curious because that's what I was told to do. If I am experiencing anger or frustration or sadness, even joy, allowing for curiosity can deepen my understanding of myself. So I got curious as to why was I feeling this feeling of less than. And as I got curious, I realized that it was because of so much masculine energy. So I went to this event. It was male-led. There were more males there than females. And I thought, okay, maybe it's time that I start looking for some more female coaching and mentorship. And I have had many female coaches and mentors in the past, but I wanted something new. Someone who really leaned in and honored her feminine energy. And I've been very interested in podcasts, so I was going on to YouTube and looking for different coaches and mentors and speakers who spoke of the mindset and different tools and of their success. And the more I started looking, the more I started finding all these females who had so much to share. And as I was listening to one female in particular, I realized that just because she was a female didn't mean that she was leaning into her feminine energy. She actually was very heavily masculine driven. And it made sense because she had grown up in the financial industry and she was very much, dog eat dog, cutthroat environment. And that's how she was driven. And as I started listening to this, I realized that I wanted to find somebody else. And I did. I found women who very much leaned into their feminine energy. But then I realized that there were men out there who also leaned into their feminine energy. And so we're going to talk about exactly what this feminine energy is and how we can use both masculine and feminine energy to our benefit. So the masculine energy has been very highly regarded in our society for many, many years, thousands of years. Competition, violence, proving, dominating, discipline, drive, hustle, working 60 hours a week, working 80 hours a week, going to bed late, getting up early, go, 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 push, 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 give, give, give. And this energy, though it does produce results, it also leads to disconnection. It leads to burnout. And it doesn't lead to the ultimate fulfillment that we all desire in this evolution of where we are as humans. And I too have been experiencing this. And it's interesting that this is coming now because I've been seeing a shift in our society as far as more talk about feminine energy, but also women achieving more this year. So a couple of examples have been the Kentucky Derby, the first woman trainer who won, and also the woman who just won the 250-mile race. She beat everybody before her, which was amazing. So we think of feminine energy and we might think of someone who is delicate, soft-spoken, passive, obedient, emotional, fragile. But true feminine energy is incredibly powerful. I want to invite you to think about the goddess energy, right? If you think of a goddess or queen. So it can be very powerful. So true feminine energy is intuition, receiving, creativity, flow, presence. It's also emotional intelligence, nurturing, magnetism, collaboration, alignment, and trust. Now, as admirable and as powerful as these qualities are, we do want to also have a balance with masculine energy. So masculine energy is structure, logic, action, discipline, achievement, protection, leadership, direction. We need both. So this isn't a talk about anti-masculinity. Masculine energy has built civilizations, it's created movements, systems, protection, innovation. But many of us have become overly conditioned in the masculine energy, and we've learned to completely disregard the feminine energy. And this is where the whole yin and yang, the importance of the yin and yang comes into place. So when we look at America, we can see how the hustle culture has been highly regarded. People have been talking about burnout. There's this sense of being really independent rather than community oriented, and also about competition. And when it's taken too far, it can also lean into this sense of scarcity and always having to prove ourselves. And this is what I was feeling after this event. And there was nothing wrong with this event. The person who led it actually is very much tapped into using both feminine and masculine. It was information for me as to which direction to go. And it was also an awakening to what I needed internally. And this is what I'm inviting you to do right now. If you are experiencing any of these things that I've listed, burnout, competition, feeling that there's lack, scarcity, always having to feel like you have to prove yourself, exhaustion, frustration, unfulfillment, even though you've been working really, really hard or you've been taking lots of action, it's probably because there's a lack of feminine energy in your life. And whether you're female or male, having that balance of femininity and masculinity, at least some sort of mix, is going to give you that balance that you've been craving. So many men were never taught that softness, intuition, stillness, and emotional depth are strengths too. But to be able to listen to your intuition, which is our highest guide, can lead to ideas and innovation to bring you to that next level of success that you've been desiring. And many of the times when we're in this highly masculine energy, we're not able to sit in stillness and quiet with ourselves. We may feel that we need that constant stimulation, whether it's music, TV, video games, phone, participating in some physical activity. And though all of that does have a time and a place, being able to balance that with stillness, meditation, yoga, maybe some other activity that's more quiet and more reserved, that balance is key for us to be able to have that fulfilling life that we're all desiring. So I genuinely believe that humanity is in a massive energetic shift right now. And we are collectively evolving, which is a very positive thing, although it may not always feel comfortable. So for thousands of years, we've operated highly from a masculine energy, control, productivity, conquering, hierarchy, survival, competition. Over even the past 10 years, there's been shifts. Companies aren't always hierarchical. There's a lot of flat organizations. That is a shift from more masculine to feminine energy. We're talking about mindfulness. We're talking about having an emotional IQ. We're talking about being authentic, right? People are craving authenticity, especially amongst so much AI created content. We want to see real people, even if it includes scars and ums and ahs and you knows. We want authenticity. We want realness. Many of the times people feel separated and disconnected rather than being ultra independent. Most people are creating a sense of community. And also to be led by conscious leadership. So I've been in recruiting for over 20 years. And over the past 10 years, I've heard, I want a company that's purpose driven. I want to feel like I'm having meaning with my work. So all of these are signs pointing to this shift. And astrologically, if you're tuned into astrological movements and changes in the world, we're changing from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. And whether you believe in astrology or not, symbolically, it's fascinating because Pisces energy is often associated with sacrifice, suffering, external authority structures. Aquarius, on the other hand, represents innovation, humanity, awakening, the authenticity that we talked about, freedom, collaboration. And interestingly enough, we are seeing women rise in leadership capacities as well as be honored in ways that we have never seen before, which I mentioned the horse trainer who won the Kentucky Derby, as well as the woman who beat the quickest time in the 250-mile race. So those are just two examples, but if you look around, you will see more and more women who are being celebrated. And this is further encouraging and emphasizing the importance of the feminine energy. It is time for the feminine energy to rise. And I invite you to start learning tools so that you can tap into this feminine side of you. Because as we embrace our feminine and our masculine, our yin and our yang, we can create a balance within us that is ever more positive. Rather than working hard and forcing solutions, we can tap into our intuition for inspired action and manifest success greater than we ever could on our own. So I am skilled to teach these skills. I can help you to learn awareness and to understand what feminine qualities and powerful tools you can use to incorporate with your already masculine tools of taking action and discipline and showing up, because both are very important to create a life that you would love. And you deserve to live a life that you would love. I also recommend, if you haven't already watched, to watch this video. And just remember, you can do it. I believe in you.